things of God is complete, or the best is yet to come.
Gatham kapas ngani isolni dalarang ko dakanera machotama manambat kapa sokpa khuna singama.
And the fourth question, if the best is yet to come, what does God require of us today?
Brig pas nganira wanambat kaparang ko isol ansina onkhuna siang ode ansera mai ko dakskana nanggen.
Well, my expertise is in Psalm. I spent 5 years doing research in Psalm 145. So I am just delighted by the theme that you chose this theme from Psalms.
Git angni porani bangni skir anira git raon waro git number tsasa so pribo hana bulsi bo mangna git rangon skira ha une mananga yani ko agana kusianga.
But before I jump into sermon, let me give you a little bit of commercial break.
Anga ya gitaw na simang nakanaskang ontisa dege badang siwalani kamna somera chingna.
You see behind yourself there is a literature section where all the books are displayed.
Na simangni jungle sipak niat kenchimode uno kitab prangko palga parang donga.
Transforming leaders in Asia have especially brought books for those who are full-time Christian workers. There is a discount available for you.
Transforming leaders for Asia ni kitab rangko dalga parang na rabaha nasimang ranas kode nasimang na nage dam komiat kale phalani rangba donggen.
I recommend you must take South Asia Bible Commentary, the first one-volume Bible commentary written from Asian context.
Nasimang sakanti kon South Asia Bible Commentary ko brechina kata didiatnya jian ya ni bidengos kangpa South Asia ni commentary nga.
And I have written Psalms, so you will see my exposition of 126 in that book.
Aranga gitrang ko ba dokbadalis ya arwa kitab angni kitab ko breode gitrang retsasa kolgrik dokko dokbadalis ya ni ko na simang poray naman gen.
But I also written 2 books, Be Still and Know God, volume 1 and 2. You will find that also there.
Arwanga kengeni kitab rang ko ba siya volume 1 2 thomthom dongbo arwanga ni solong ani wibo ya kitab ko ba na simang no ken.
The Psalter, a hymnal book of 150 Psalms in the Bible, is one of the most used books in the Bible.
Ya sastrong ba git rang jan number sasot po na kengkeng doa yan zakal bat ka ba kitab rang oni nga.
It captures our petitions, our belief, our praises, our celebration in most articulate way.
Ariano antini bianirang atanon kangarirang de doanyang dakprangko bangarang kon uno siya.
Sometimes it is easier to read a psalm to express ourselves than to say something from our own language.
Antini kustangchi solo maiko baka nabate git rangko porenian uko mesok nagata nambat ka ponga.
Some psalms are as old as 1500 years before Christ.
Matam git rang de jishini achinas kang basi hazal siborang nas kanga noa ha.
Like Psalm 90.
Jedake gitrang susku
written by Moses.
Jekon Moses seha.
And others are probably as fresh as 600 years before Christ.
Aro matam rangara Kristo nas kang basir sadok mangas kange wara di gatal bat ka ba gitrang wa.
Psalm 126 is a part of a smaller anthology of 15 psalms called the Psalm of Ascents.
Ya gitrang number sasa kul tokara mengchi bonga gitrang jerang kon duangur ani niya kana warang ni mengsaw nga.
In Hebrew, it's called Shir Hamalot. And easy to remember, Shir means the head. Himalaya, it's like a head of the Himalaya. You're like climbing up to the Everest.
Ya ko ibri ko se sil hamalo ne kana sir ne kana kesuduan abri ko sakchi Himalaya abri duanga gatonga.
It dates back to 600 BCE.
Ayan rtsadok BC mango sia.
This group of psalm ascents was specially composed and compiled for religious pilgrimage to Jerusalem during various festivals.
Ya duangor aning ba git rangara Jerusalem na dengtang manirang ko manina duang batengor rengba git wano rengna segmen git rangwa.
Pilgrims would sing and recite these psalms to prepare themselves spiritually to enter Jerusalem for worship as they climb up on the mountain, to the top of the mountain, to the temple.
Ya thorom na sungring pa Jerusalem manina yang ba jihudirang wa abri kusakana thorom no kona duang matengo ya git rang ko reng duanga ne kana.
And as they recite psalms, they will reflect on God's protections and faithfulness, His covenant relationship, and His providence.
Aro ya git rang ko reng duang maton isolium songgi gerkani Wamakurakyan yan nakaprang ko mang sansiya giskarata.
But they would also recite their laments, their pain, and their petitions, so that before they enter the temple, they have finished every laments and petitions. They are entering the temple filled with gratitude.
Aruya gitrang ko mang ringangyan wamani giskatoni saniyang niknagani wana kapa duk nirang jerang kon isola kana chung gorang ko mang agana ni kitang acham.
Imagine how wonderful it will be our experience on Sunday worship if we finish reading Psalm of Ascents in the morning and then come to worship.
Acheng ya Rubibal prengo ya doangul aning gaba gitrang ko bone porai yanuna olakina riboda badita namgen simyan sanchini bo.
The psalm can be read in many ways.
Ya gitrang ko dengtang bewalo porai na mana.
Read in its historical context,
Uko maambi ko Sengba history kita porai na mana.
in its cult worship context,
Aron deke olakiani kita ba niat na mana.
and in its canonical context.
Aro andeke sastro segaman kitab ne bak kita ba niat na mana.
And I prefer to combine all of them.
Aro anga ya gemek kora dame agana skinga.
I use a method called text linguistic analysis,
Anga text linguistic analysis ngapa method ko zakalinga.
because meaning lies in the text.
Maina maksuaniara ya segamano ganang.
And when the Psalms were compiled, the editors, they had a theological intent why they should put 126 after 125 and 127, after 126.
Maina ya gitrang ko segapa retsasa ko to ko retsasa ko ponas kang bonege retsasa kogresnias kang deke dona wani maksuani donga.
If you want to know about that methodology, I have written a book called Reading Psalm 145 with Sages. It's available on Amazon. If you want to do deep research, you can read that one.
Yarang ni mo nasimang nambate winas kode angni segaman kitab dongo ko Amazono mana wako nasimang rai porai nakata mangen.
Now, in this text linguistic method, you normally try to find out what is the pericope means, what is the thematic context.
Ya text linguistic method ko zakalon yano segaman rara mayong acham warang ko sandir katani onga.
And one of the way you find out is inclusio, in other words, like a bracket. You find out the word which is repeated again and again.
Ya kata sandiani ora wa mai kata ko changni chang janapa warang ko sandi amrakati niani bewalonga.
If you have a Bible, please open and read with me.
Nasimang sastro ko rapatang ode kasay pa upraken bani ang baksa
I
badal
don't
mangso
want you
porai
to
mo.
hear me, but I want you to hear, let the Bible speak to you.
Anga nasimang ko angnia kana ko knani ko nangdik chandi ba sastro antanga nasimang na ganchina.
Look at, in Psalm 125 verse 1.
Gitrang number sasa kolgruk mo pot sako nibo.
And then 129.
Uni zamanote sasa kolgruk skuko.
All this group of Psalms, they're connected with each other with one cross-reference called the word Zion.
Ya plak kitrango mangsa kata chi nangrum kata wara Zion gapa kata.
So if you want to interpret Psalm 126:1, where he says, when the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, and your question is, what is Zion? Then you have to read all these Psalms.
Uni man asimang gitrang number sasa koltok pot sako porain bani jian sal jipa Zion na riba pulbang rembap lahanon ya Zion na ramai kuina de rangko agan mun gitrang porain nanggen.
Psalm 126:1 says, when the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion.
Gitrang number sasa koltok pot sagana jian sal jipa Zion na riba rembap laha.
We were like those who dreamed.
Ansinga jumang nagkaparang katang acham.
What is these fortunes of Zion?
Ya jipa na rembap nagkaparang kon kapara maiko muksongya.
It's a metaphor.
Yara tuya gana ni nga.
Like when the psalmist said, let the earth rejoice, the earth cannot rejoice, is the people of the earth rejoice.
Jedake git ko segapa agasa katsa china kasok china non agasa te katsa na ba kasok na manja manderang sa kasoka.
What is the fortunes of Zion?
Yano jiopani rembap kapara maiko muksongya.
It's the dreams and aspirations and the promises that was given to the people who live in Zion.
Wara wa Zion tong pa mandirana jiwa mani skanirang nangani ko isol ni ongaman sa muksongya.
What is that fortune that has been restored?
Wa andake na mat palgaman ba jiopani rembap kapara maiko muksonga.
Psalm 129.
Gita number sasa
It gives you that they were in exile.
Wa no ansenaka ya mandirangara rangkatawacham.
Psalm 129:1, it says, they have greatly oppressed me, my youth. Let Israel say, they have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not gained the victory over me.
Gita number tsasa korsu pot sagana angni pante wan tal wamang pal ni pal angko duk on aha ne Israel dawagan China.
Plowmen have plowed my back and they made their furrows long.
Awe ka parang angni jungle wiyaha wamang chikare dakke bakroe matataha.
People of God sinned against their creator.
Isol ni mandirang antago ongat kapani kosako pap kaha.
They broke the covenant.
Awamang songi kani ko piaha.
As a punishment, they were sent into exile.
Aro wana sasti onani kita wamako rumgathani na onaha.
They lived under Assyrian captivity, Babylonian captivity, and Persian captivity.
Wamang Syria rangni rumgathango, Babylon rumgathango, aro Persia rangni rumgathango jangi thangna
They
nangaha.
were helpless.
Wamang dakchak kapa grisem.
You know what is helpless. You know the situation in Manipur.
Dakchak kapa gri nyagani o nasi mai kuya Manipur nga obostha kuya ma.
It worse than Manipur.
Wamang na Manipur ni obostha ka tongachem.
They could not do anything.
Wamang mamang kon dakna manjachem.
But at least they could do one thing.
Adi ba wamang mangsako de dakna mana.
They could remain faithful to God.
Wamang isol na kakit tunge dongna mana.